Today we're working on the 1965 John Deere 110 with the Johnson loader. I got the hood off, clean the carburetor a little bit. I got to pull the carb later on. But for right now, what we're going to do is I bought a new belt, took it in, got a slightly smaller belt, and I bought some 3 jugs of 1040 oil. And I am going to drain the fluid out of the loader. And when you do this, you're supposed to drain all the fluid and have all the rams fully contracted, so all the fluid is in the tunnel or the reservoir. And then you measure when you fill it up. You want it to be within 3 to 4 inches of the top. I think it's 4 inches of the top. So I'm going to drain all the fluid and fill it back up to 4 inches. And we're going to put the belt back on and see if I can actually get some full lift out of it now. Because it was struggling on lifting. I couldn't lift 200 pounds with it without it squealing. So obvious thing is do some basic maintenance. So when I come back, we're going to have the new belt put on and the fluid put in, and let's see what she does. So it's back together. I had a problem off camera, and I tried to figure it out, and I tried to figure it out, and I tried to figure it out. And I have a good friend, Tim Rigby, down in Tennessee. Alabama. Sorry, Tim. And he works for a big machine shop, and he's pretty good with hydraulics, really good with hydraulics, and he walked me through it. We drained the fluid, I swapped the fluid, I put a new belt on, no slip, and it would still whine. So I started listening to it, and you notice the acorn nuts off the relief valve. My noise was coming from that. So we took it apart. The O-ring looked good, but I replaced it anyways. I cleaned it up and I put it back together, and it worked. It works perfect. So the manual says 40 weight oil if you're in the warm climate. I'm in Utah, and we already got snow this year, so it calls for 1040 for colder climate. And I went on the forums and I had some guys say, "Oh, just use normal hydraulic fluid." I'm just going to use what Johnson recommended, because they know what they're doing. And I filled it 4 inches from here to here, 4 inches down, completely full. I also swapped my tires into the wide position. He had it in the narrow position. I think he did that because he was taking it to tractor shows, and on trailers, real estate's valuable. So I need to get wheel weights for it still, and then I'm having an issue with the governor. I haven't adjusted it yet, so I'm going to adjust it first, and if it's an issue, that means that it has a plastic governor gear, and if you know Kohlers, it's the first thing out and the first thing in, last thing out. So hopefully it's just misadjustment and not a plastic governor gear. So that's where I'm at. I still got to wire my lights in. I'm going to have the hood off a dozen more times because I'm going to rebuild the carburetor, check the linkages. It's not charging, so I got wiring issues. You know, the basic getting a new machine. But it's been sitting in here for roughly, 8 hours last night to this morning. And if you can see, I can move it. So it's held pressure all night because that's where I left it, off the ground. Another list to do is I'm going to start replacing my hydraulic lines. And then later on, I am going to start working on lubricating these pins, pivots, preventative maintenance. I'm not going to restore it. I've been getting into that original paint. It's my original paint T800. This is going to stay original paint. I'm still going to have my restored tractors that's, that too far gone that needed restored, but so I'm going to add the headlight switch, the cigarette lighter, and just start going through all the wiring, tracing wires, and eventually I'll put the correct starter gen motor in it. Yeah, there she is.